In this tech tip, we're going to take a look at isolation relays. Normally on the data tag on the relay, it will give you all the voltage information that is necessary, what voltage the relay will handle, and what the amp draw on the relay is. And also there will be a wiring diagram that will show you the normally open contacts, the normally closed contacts, and which contacts are the relay coil. This is an electrical diagram of a single pole, single throw isolation relay. It has, of course, the coil, which is normally 24 volts, but it also can be a high voltage coil if needed for your application. It has a set of contacts which are normally open, and when the coil is energized, this contact closes, allowing voltage to flow to the circuit that is connected to this relay. This is the most common type relay that is used for isolation. In this wiring diagram, we have the diagram for a double pole, double throw relay. This has, of course, the coil once again, which can be 24 volts or high voltage, depending on your application. And it also has two separate sets of contacts that are normally closed, and when this coil is energized, they would open and close the contacts to the other side. So this relay would be used if you have more than one device that you want to isolate or control with a double pole, double throw relay. Here's an example of a single pole isolation relay being used to operate a boiler. A lot of technicians who either work or did work on the East Coast would be familiar with this setup, as a lot of times boilers are controlled through an isolation relay because of higher amp draw or the voltage. In this particular case, we have a 120 volt transformer stepping down to 24 volts control voltage. We have an isolation relay that we have broken the W1 signal coming from the thermostat, so that when the thermostat calls on W1 for the boiler to operate, it will energize the isolation relay, closing the contacts and providing voltage to the boiler to operate. Like I said, this is usually done where the control on the boiler exceeds the amp draw or the voltage rating of the thermostat or the transformer that is being used in this application. This isolates the boiler from that circuit and allows it to operate with the existing transformer and thermostat. This is a real-world case of an isolation relay being used on a thermostat to isolate one particular circuit. On the left-hand side, you have the wiring diagram that would normally apply to any air conditioning system or a heat pump. In this case, we have the green, the yellow, the red, the orange for the reversing valve, and the blue for the common. However, in this case, there were certain cases where the OB terminal was overheating on the thermostat because of high amp draw from the unit. So to resolve this issue, an isolation relay was used to isolate the OB terminal from the thermostat, so that when the thermostat called, it would energize the isolation relay, closing the contact to make the circuit to the O and B terminal, thus isolating the thermostat from the system and resolving the overheat situation. There are many ways to use the isolation relay to either isolate the power side or the control side of any electrical circuit. These relays can also be used to illuminate lights or LEDs, to alert or warn of circuits being energized or failures of devices.
Go to arefco.com for more videos, like, subscribe, and check back every week for new videos.